Hey Sainers, welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to the Round 5 preview. We're taking on the GWS Giants, the top of the table currently. Top of the table Giants, absolutely flying, playing very, very good football. A lot of players in good form. And they took us out of the final series last year, so hopefully some revenge to be taken up there. But for us, we're coming off the back of a interesting performance, I would say, to put it kindly, against Richmond. Shocking first half, 1-5 at halftime, and then we turned it around with a 6-6, I think, third term, and kind of saw the game out in the fourth to eventually win by 7 points, 60-67. That takes us to 2-2. Obviously, the Giants are just flying and scoring heavily. A lot of their midfield is just elite, and I just get flashbacks to the elimination final last year, watching them tear us up out of the middle and just the way that they were running in waves. I think that was the only time last year I really saw a massive gap in terms of like running capacity and the use of the football. They were just almost surgical. They were so clean with it under pressure. Our pressure was good in that game. They were just another level on the day. And to be honest, they were only 1 point from making a grand final. So this is a very, very good team. My biggest concern going into this is they're just stacked. They're just stacked all over the pitch. They are a very good team. I would probably say this is the only, and I'm being dead honest here, but this is probably the only game this season so far that I'm going into it with almost limited expectations. I'm just excited to go. I'll be flying over. I'm going to be supporting the boys. I'll be there with bells on and my colours on and pumped for it. Flying up Friday, game Saturday, fly back Sunday. So very excited to get down to Canberra, but I'm just a bit concerned about midfield. That's still an area, even against Richmond, where we struggled. So if we're going to struggle against Richmond, we really need to be switched on against the Giants and be a bit more defensive probably than what we were against the Tigers. Whether we took the Tigers a bit lightly in the first half or not, obviously that's definitely not going to be the case against the Giants. Jesse Hogan is a huge concern for me. He's just in amazing form at the moment, and he has been for probably the last 12 months, to be honest, but 4 goals, 1 on the weekend. Josh Kelly, again, a huge game. Toby Green, I was hoping he would be suspended for this. He's not. He kicked 5 goals, 1, and we saw what Shai Bolton did to us last week. Toby Green is the top echelon of small forward/mids. He's an absolute superstar. I actually saw him that morning in Adelaide. We went to a cafe, Jaden and I, and he was there just reading the newspaper. And you should have seen his look when Jaden walked in wearing the candy stripes, and he's reading the newspaper up, just sitting on the table there on the stool, and he just kind of like glances over and just has a good stare at the red, white, and black, and then kind of smirks and then goes back to reading the newspaper. I was just like, I just wanted to go up to him and be like, mate, you look good in these colours. So, I mean, I'd love to have him, but on the weekend, he's the enemy, and a lot of people hate him, but they hate him because he's bloody good, and he is a match winner. So we need to be on, and I don't know who to go. Like, do we put Cal Wilkie on him? Is he that much of a concern? I just don't think Liam Stocker has the size, has the power to stop someone like Toby Green. We can't have a replay of what Shai Bolton did, because if that happens, they're going to win comfortably. Lockie Whitfield, again, just a great ball user, pushing into the midfield a little bit more. And then Stephen Cornelio, who's people think is out of form a little bit, or has been, but again, he had a great game on the weekend, 27 and 2 goals. And that's the thing that separates the Giants from a lot of other teams, is their midfielders kick goals every single week. They're good for a goal. And Kieran Briggs in the ruck is going to pose another problem for Rowan Marshall. So for us, ins and outs, that comes out tomorrow night. The team's live, 6:30. Check it out. They'll talk about that. Dougal Howard's actually a test for this game. So do we rush him back because of Jesse Hogan, because of how strong their forward line, Riccardi? Do we do that? I kind of feel like he's going to go through Sandy. I don't know if we're going to really make that many changes. We don't really have that many players apart from Dukes to really bring in. Jack Hayes had a great game at Sandy the week before. They didn't play on the weekend. He would have been perfect for this game as that dual ruck forward combination with Marshall. I kind of feel like we went a little bit tall against Richmond. We went Caminiti, Sharman, King, Membry. We had Owens down there. We had Filippo down there. I don't know if we just lose one of them for maybe more of a runner. Maybe we debut a Collard, or not debut a Collard, but give him another go, or even a Garcia, because they've had a bit more of a sample size at Sandy. I just don't know kind of where Ross will be thinking for this game, because there's no clear avenue for us to really outgun them. It's just we have to be very, very good with ball in hand. We cannot turn the ball over as much as we did against the Tigers, because simply we will get absolutely dominated if we turn it over the way we did on the weekend. We were lucky at halftime. We'd only scored 1 goal, but they'd only scored 4 or 5, Richmond. We cannot test our luck again like that. I think we have to kind of almost go back to what we looked at last year, where it was a bit more methodical. It was a bit slower out of defense, but we were always moving the ball forward. It was always a chip to mark. So in this game, I really kind of see the way to get around the Giants is to stop the flow, because the Giants love to run in waves. You know, the orange tsunami, that's what they like. That's what they call them for a reason, because they get the ball, they run in waves, and then they just flood the forward line and they kick a lot of goals. And they're averaging, 100 points a game, 90 points a game. We are not. So we do not want to get into a shootout with them, because I think we'll lose that. But if we can be methodical in our ball use and have a high mark kick game, I think that goes a long way into firstly frustrating them, because they won't want to play that way. It allows us to set up a little bit easier, because the balls, it's not chaotic. It's a bit more of a planned approach. And maybe then we can create a few more one-on-ones, get King isolated a little bit more. I think the Richmond game to me was very much a no game plan, but we think we've just got better players, so we're just going to back ourselves. And eventually that won. I know we had a game plan, but to me it just looked like we were willing to just go, there's two boxes in the ring, and we just think we're the better boxer, and we're just going to go for punches and not defend at all. In this game, our defense needs to be on point, and luckily for the majority of the season, it has actually been really good. We are 3rd ranked defense in the comp, averaging 71 points against. The issue is we're 14th for goals for. And this is what I talked about in the preseason. We are not going to beat teams like the Giants. We're not going to get into the top 4. We can still hover top 6, top 8, but we are not going to break into the top 4, Saners, if we are number 1 for defense and 14th for attack. We need to get the attack to at least 8th. Just in the top 8. That's enough. Average, concede 70, kick 80. Just something like that. We cannot concede 70 and struggle to kick 70 ourselves, because then every game's just going to be a battle. And against a team like the Giants, who have that much firepower, it's going to be a test, because we've got Cal Wilkie. Zane Cordy was phenomenal last week, so potentially he goes to a Jesse Hogan. I don't mind that. Cal Wilkie, Toby Green, Josh Battle, Riccardi. I don't mind that. And then Ron Marshall can kind of rotate and support when Briggs goes forward, or give this an opportunity for Ron Marshall to go, you know what, I'm the bloody man. Last week he played Nankervis, who always towels him up, but Rowe had a pretty good game himself, 24 and a goal. This is where Rowe can really just say, okay, you're going to chase me around the ground today. We need to have that sort of ownership with some of these players that we know are just genuine stars, and Rowan Marshall's one of them. Jack Steele's another. He found amazing form on the weekend, but he's going to need to be even better in this game, because their midfield is that much better. So there's not much we can lean on from the Richmond game. You know what I mean? We can't look back and go, great, if we do all those things again, we'll win. If we take in most of the second half, yes, we're in this game. But again, the quality of opposition, the form that they're in, the players that they've got at their disposal, it's a different kettle of fish. And it just means we need to be at our absolute best, which, why not? Why not? This is a really good opportunity to benchmark ourselves. We played Geelong away. I thought we stacked it up really well against a very good team, and they look in good form again. We played Collingwood. We beat them. We should have beaten Essendon. We choked, and we just didn't put our chances away in the first half. And Richmond, we looked really average, but we turned it around, and we were pretty phenomenal in the second half. In the third quarter particularly, 6 goals, 6. That's a domination in any game. So we turned it on. We responded. We just need to carry that through now. And I don't think what we do in terms of selection is really going to dictate whether we win or not, because we just don't have that many options. Paddy Dow's a week away. Hunter Clark the same. We've got Mason Wood, Liam Henry, another 4 to 5 weeks away. So in terms of changes, it's going to be minimal. I think Ross should just back the players that he's got, and just say, yeah, that was a shit first half. Second half was better. You responded. We need to carry this through in this game. So from my perspective, I'm nervous. I'm really, really nervous. But I'm also excited because I want us to play the best teams in their best form. And we've had a bit of a tough run. We've had a lot of away games. Next week, Thursday Night Football, that's our first home game at Marvel. So we've had a bit of a stretch here. So if we can come through this the other side, go 3-2, that would be huge. But it's just a matter of application in this game. If we lose, I I'm not saying we're going to lose, but I just want to see improvement from last year. I want us to play our way, and if that's not good enough, that's fine. But we cannot come out like we did in the first half against Richmond and cruise and not value every possession. We took them for granted. We weren't even looking at where some of these handballs and kicks were going on the weekend. We can't do that against the Giants. So I'm backing us to have a strong performance. I actually think we play better against better opposition. I don't know why. I just think we get a little bit complacent when we play teams that are below us or around us, like Richmond and Essendon. But you look at Geelong and Collingwood, we had no problems. We were up for both games. So us being the hunter in the game, I think is a really good one. We love being underdogs. We love people tipping against us and saying we've got no chance. And this is exactly the week. So bring it on. I'm excited. Hopefully a lot of you Sainers will be flying up there. Looking forward to meeting you and chatting to you at Manuka Oval. I'm really excited. Comment your thoughts. Let me know. And obviously subscribe to the channel as well for all content. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. And as always, go you mighty Saints. See you guys.